I learned to tell a story without any holes.
How did you get a foothold in the business as a professional? Say as a, well, let's kind of cut ahead to being a director.
Well, radio was what television is today. It was the entertainment, the home entertainment medium. And I became more and more employed in radio as a kid actor. And I always, when I wasn't on microphone, when I wasn't in a scene, I would always go into the control room and stay with the director. And I was always interested in the background. And when I was 13 years old, I was on a show called Rainbow House, which was on the Mutual Network. And I had a small part that week on that particular show, which I was on every week. And I had a small part, and the director got deathly ill suddenly the morning of the show. And they said, who's going to direct it? And he said, let Harold direct it. And they said, you're crazy, it's a 13-year-old kid. He said, yeah, but he knows the show. He's been in the control with me the whole time. He knows how to do it. And so I directed a coast-to-coast national broadcast at the age of 13. That was my first, that was how I became a professional director. And
well, Hal, when you wrote the Elvis Presley films, Blue Hawaii, and there was another one with Slip Swimmer.
Loving You was the first one. It was Elvis's first starring picture.
Well, I mean, you primarily were a comedy writer, were you not?
Yes, I was.
So how did you make Elvis Presley funny?
I didn't make him funny. I just told the truth, that's all. No. I don't think it wasn't supposed to be funny. It was supposed to introduce him to a new audience, which it did very successfully. The fact that he did get a few laughs is due to the brilliant script that I wrote.
Of course, definitely.
Not to my brilliant direction. Because in subsequent movies, I don't recall Elvis really getting many laughs, actually, on purpose.
Right. Well, he got a lot of oohs and ahs from the gals.
Yeah, yes, he does.
But you know, in Houseboat, Mel, Cary Grant, I mean, always was an inimitable guy. I mean, throughout his whole career. But Houseboat, you wrote something where he was kind of very spiritual.
Well, that you know, that scene was written by Cary Grant. If you're talking about the spiritual scene.
Yes.
We got to the scene in the picture, and Cary said, after. I won't go into all the problems that were associated with Cary Grant in that picture. When we got to that scene, he said, you know, I want to do a scene about death, and this is a comedy, you know. And so he gave us the hint. Cary was interested in so many things, and he was well into this. And in the scene with the little boy, whom he's trying to make friends with his son, and the kid catches a fish, and the fish dies. And the kid says, why does everything have to die? And Cary says, well, everybody has to die because you're always making room for somebody else who's coming along. And the kid says, he says, when I die, I'm not making room for anybody. They have to come and get me. And so Cary says, nothing ever really disappears. Everything remains. Here's this water. Make it go away. So he pours it over the boat, you know, into the water. And he says to the kid, no, it didn't go away. And the kid says, you're right. It's going to evaporate, come back as rain. So I guess none of us really go. And Cary says, well, when you look at it, you know, being born and dying can also be beautiful. And at the end of the scene, they become friends, and the kid says to him, don't do anything beautiful for a while.